Problem now, of course, is to simply hold your horses. To rush would be a crime. 'Cause nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it. Nice and easy does it every time.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Maristel. It is 5:30 in the afternoon here in Illinois, USA. Maayong buntag, maayong gabi, maayong hapon kaninyong tanan. I'm originally from Cebu, Philippines, and living here in the US for almost 21 years. I am a medical technologist by profession. They also call us medical laboratory scientists. And so, welcome to another episode of Spotlight Stories. So, just to give you a little bit of a background, about Spotlight Stories. When I started the business in 2022, I was very, very uncomfortable in going live until one day um, we did this 90-day success challenge. And so I was starting to interview people or business partners from our global community. And then I woke up and said, you know what? I'm just going to give it a title. And then here comes Spotlight Stories. So we're not only going to be talking about digital business, we're going to be tackling about life, travel, relationships, and anything in between. This afternoon, I'm very, very pleased to have with us a lovely couple from our global community. They've been in the business for how many years now? We will hear from them in a few minutes. So please help me welcome, without further delay, Coach Chris and Coach Joan Danla. Good afternoon to you.
Maayong udto.
Oh,
Hello,
mayong mundo,
everybody.
mayong hapon. They're
Yeah.
also BizDoc, by the way. All right.
Yeah.
Salamat.
Yay. Anyway, so
Pag-
before we start, a little bit of a background from both of you.
Yeah. So, maayong hapon, magandang hapon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, let me just introduce myself. My name is Chris. I'm actually a physical therapist by profession, and we've been living here in Florida since 2005. I have been practicing as a physical therapist in the past 20 years here in the US.
Mm.
And I am also a proud online business owner. I know we're going to be sharing our story later, but I did find this business during the height of the pandemic, actually, and I'm so
Yes.
proud. I'm so glad to have found this more than 5 years ago. This business has really been a game changer, a life changing opportunity for us, and not for us, but a lot of people all around the world.
Hi,
Wow.
everyone. Yeah, so my name is Joam. I'm Chris's wife. So I used to work also as a billing specialist for 5 years, but thankfully, Chris started this business some 5 years ago. And so I was able to quit my job and now help Chris to do the business full time now.
Wow. Okay, so I know you mentioned something about you started the business during the pandemic. So, what inspired you to embark on the journey?
Yeah. In 2005, no, 2020, January, I really thought that time that, we are in the medical field that there's very like low chance of losing a job, right? But that wasn't true during the pandemic because I'm doing home health physical therapy, and a lot of our patients that time were not allowing us to see them at home because they're so afraid that they're gonna get COVID. So we're very low in caseload, and three of my colleagues got laid off. Three physical therapists full time, they got laid off, and that's when I realized that it's so scary just to depend on your full time job because anything can change. You could lose your job. Let's say not lose your job, but something happens to you. You become physically disabled, and then you're no longer able to work. But bills in America, padayon gihapon, di
They
ba?
don't
Yes,
Daghan
stop.
kita
yes.
never ending here in the
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yes, and that's when I decided that I have to look for something that I can do. Nga dili siya ma-affected easy with pandemic, and I thought of doing an online business. And I was just browsing on Facebook, and I saw someone, I'm actually my classmate in college, And then we messaged back and forth one night, and then I saw the business. I watched the workshop, and then I became a business owner in, I think, in a week or two. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
exciting. So
Yeah.
did you start the business as husband and wife right away, or one of you, or
No.
Joanne was a little
The,
skeptical
the
in the
story
beginning?
the story is I presented the business to her, and she said, "Oh, I don't think that's going to be a good business. I don't think you're going to succeed in that," because her thinking was different at that time. So without
I
her
was,
support, actually,
yeah, I was thinking traditional
yeah.
business.
So without her support, I started it anyway. And you know what's funny? She won't even support me in my posting in Facebook. I had to like tell, hey, could you just maybe make a comment or like my post,
Oh,
And then surprisingly, after 10 months of doing the business, she saw that what I'm making in the business when I started was more than what we were making, both of our income combined.
Yeah.
And she said,
I
wow.
get
Yeah, she
jealous.
said, that's really a real business. And then that's when she quit her job and then joined me full time here. She might want to share why she was very skeptical in the beginning.
Yeah, because my mom used to own a traditional pizza business back in the Philippines, and she ran
mhm,
that business for almost 20 years. And so I saw the hardship, the sacrifices, the lack of
mhm,
time, when you're doing a traditional business, because it's not easy.
mhm,
Although it was successful at that time, but I know my mom started with nothing.
mhm.
And so I was thinking that kind of business, without really learning about the online world, how to
Yes.
use it successfully. And so when he started, aba, after just in 2 weeks ata,
I started. I
two
started making
weeks,
money already.
he's like at 1,000, over $1,000 na
Mhm.
yung checks
Yeah.
na dumating. Ko, oh my God. I was working still at that time. I said, okay, maybe we'll see. I was still observing him, and then he was so just passionate about it. And when you're starting, it doesn't mean that although this business is like a plug and play,
Mhm.
but you still have to put some effort somehow.
Yes, yes.
So he was busy, but at the same time, during like when he comes home, he was like he was in the computer,
Mhm.
and because it was pandemic, so everyone was like plug in online, and so it was easy for him. For me, was I was observing, I was just like looking for the results. And
Yes.
For the result.
You were like in the background.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and so he would just like show it to me. Oh, there's $2,000, and like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With when of course there's some initial investment that you want to start in any business, right? You know what, the amazing thing was that in the span of less than, like, I think 4 months, no, 4 months, he was like, we're gaining the ROI already, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
about way above our expectation, like times four,
Yeah.
times four. Like, oh my God, I said, oh my God, I was just like so,
Mhm.
like, Kyo, I'm gonna quit my job and just like help you.
Yes. So a
Yeah.
few months after the business, he was able to retire you from your job, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And
yes.
were you the designated one to go to the mailbox and get those blessings?
No, I
I'm
don't.
the one because I have to like like tease her, blessings,
Yeah,
blessings. Like that. Yeah, I'm usually the one checking the mail anyway. Yeah.
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 So I actually watched one of your interviews, Coach Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I do spotlight stories, I don't normally, like what I mentioned in the backstage a while ago, that I don't really prepare questions, but I kind of like, let me go to the previous interview so that I have a little idea. So I was
Mhm.
so amazed. You mentioned there that you uh most Filipinos, right? Like, this is what we do. We support, we help our families back home, but
Yeah.
you have like 7 college students in the
Yeah.
Philippines. Wow. Tell us
Yeah.
more about that.
Yeah. So
Before,
yeah. So I went to college with somebody supported me. It's my aunt, uh, in the physical therapy school, and one of my thing that that I always remember, you could never repay
Repay.
somebody back, right? Like the one who helped you, you cannot never repay whatever you do. You can never repay it in full. But if you pay it forward, I think that's
Yes.
going to be better. So that's what I've been doing. So right now I have 6 or 7 college students that I'm supporting, but aside from this 7 college student, there's already like 6 or 7 also who already graduated from college, and we were
Oh,
supporting them.
wow. Oh my
One is
gosh.
already a nurse here in
The
Texas, yeah,
US,
in the
yeah.
US. And then, because I always think that this wealth that we have, we can never take it back when we go, right? So
Mhm.
it's such a great feeling to support people. But I don't usually offer like, hey, I want to support your college, but I want somebody who got the initiative that,
Mhm.
hey, I really want to improve my situation. I don't want to be poor forever. And if they were perfect, can you help me and then pay for my,
Yes,
and
yes.
that I would do. I
Yes.
seldom approach people that, hey, I'm going to support your college education. But when somebody approaches me, I it's so hard to say no, because I've been there before. I don't know
Yes.
if you watch one of our go lives, like
Yes,
when I
yes. I saw that. You were like 10 children, like 10 siblings,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
just
me, I'm paying attention. I'm a good stalker.
when I was in college also, like, sometimes madali ang imong tuition.
Mhm.
Sometimes wala ko pang bayad sa jeep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I know how hard it is if you're not financially stable, if your parents are
Mhm.
not
I
able to
understand. Yeah.
support you. That's why I'm paying forward, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
before we can only like support one student at a time, because
Mm.
our budget, when you have like a
Mhm.
fixed income, it's really budgeted, and no matter how much you wanted to try to help others,
Yes.
it's like it's limited. No, our
Correct.
resources is just limited. But thankfully, with the supplemental income, with the business that comes
Mhm.
in, it's we were able to support more than that. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we are really truly grateful. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations to both of you. And I would say it's really nice because both of you, like Coach Joam, supports you in that area, like supporting
Yeah.
family back home, because it's hard, like when you are wanting to help family members back home, and then the spouse will, you kind of like, what are you doing? This and that,
You know what? It's funny. I mentioned this one to one of my patients that I told before we got married. There's 2 things that I made her aware.
Oh,
One is that I snore, and then the second one, these are disclaimers. The second one is I would really help my family, and
wow,
I
that's
made
really
her aware.
nice.
Yeah,
And that's a good strategy, actually.
yeah,
At least everything is laid down in front of each
yeah,
other,
yeah.
No
So,
surprise.
yeah, correct. So, how did your individual skill set, you as a physical therapist, Coach Joam was a billing specialist. See, I know that.
Who knows?
Um, yes, influence the roles you assumed in the business together.
I think it's more of like, as a physical therapy, it's more of like discipline,
Mhm.
that, and also that mindset that whatever you're put your mind into, and if you persevere and you have that positive mindset, you have that resilience, that you could always succeed. And part of the thing also, I mentioned this, so one of the interviews, that retiring as a physical therapist, here in the US, we would probably just receive, I don't know how much, 1,500 or maybe $2,000, and
Yes,
that's
yes.
not enough. It's not
No,
enough.
nope.
And that is why, yeah, that is why I know a lot of people, they're already 70 or 80 years old, that they are still working, and I don't
Mhm.
want to be like that. And in this business, I realized that, when you work hard in the next 5 to 10 years, you could reach a certain level that the company that we are affiliated with will give you $5,000 monthly
Minimum.
bonus. That's the minimum
Yes,
for
that is the minimum.
the
I know, right?
and we have a lot of business owners on our business community. Some of them are receiving 30,000, 45,000 monthly bonuses, not including the commission. That's why it's not a surprise that you will find somebody in our business community earning between 100,000 to $200,000 every month. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Wow.
What about you?
So, did you have any challenges in the beginning, just like a lot of us?
Yeah. Of
Were you
course.
tech savvy already?
I'm sorry.
Were you tech savvy already?
I'm into social
Computers.
I'm into computers,
You learn so fast.
Yeah, but I could learn something fast, But one thing that I didn't do before was I was not into like doing go live
Yeah.
like
Videos,
this.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I even tried the straight 90 days. I was not able to do that before because I would post on Facebook, but nothing go live. Now, even if we have no topic, I would just go there and
Yes.
then talk about anything. Yes.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
so
And
shy
I,
with doing videos before.
Yeah.
yes. And I think I saw you some of your videos like you're dancing with your team and stuff. It's so fun. Yeah. So how many
Yeah, we do.
children do you have? Do you have
Uh,
any kids? Do you have any kids?
have two boys,
Wow.
19 and 12. Yeah. One is
Wow.
in college. Yeah. One in middle school. Yeah.
So how do you do your work-life balance now that you have a business?
Yeah. The good thing about this business, even if, I have a full-time job, although I'm not working as hard compared to before. Before
Mhm.
I used to work 6 or 7 days a week, a lot of part-time jobs. But even if, I have a full-time job, this business is very doable because it's like plug and play. We have this automated online system.
Mhm.
I just run my advertising and then every day clients are reaching out to me. I didn't have to go out there and look for somebody who will be interested in the business. And that's the beauty in this business
Yes,
because
yes.
we really help you achieve work-life balance. And I don't think it's very overwhelming because I would only answer those questions who would approach me. I'm not actively going out there and recruiting people. And I'm very fortunate that in this business that we are doing now, we are using this automated online system that's actually doing 90% of our business, right? So our goal is only to focus on marketing, and it's easy, as long as you're very willing to learn, everything
Yes.
can be done in this business. Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
okay, Coach Joe, I would like you to answer this because work-life balance, right? So I think I heard from Coach Chris that you love to travel. So tell us more about your travels and what countries have you been into
Okay,
in the
so
past already?
it's actually my dream to travel ever since when I was like
Mhm.
young. I told Chris this story that when I was in college, I wanted to travel so bad that I applied for to become a flight stewardess, and
Okay.
unfortunately I was not like I was
Chosen,
rejected.
selected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was not selected. So, but so whenever there's a chance, like my aunt will go in a like vacation somewhere in the Philippines, I really want to go, so I go even if I don't have money. And so when I met Chris, we were working together in a marketing agency, and so we go to places around the country in the Philippines, and we kind of like traveling at the same time. So kind of like when we got married, we told them like I really wanted to go to places like discover new things, and so
Yes.
we started here in the US, like just drive by and
Mhm.
just like do some um from state to state, because that's what we can afford, right?
Correct. Yes.
Maybe uh, every for couple of years go to the Philippines because that's what we can afford.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful that when Chris started the business, oh my God, our world like just like
Yeah.
completely open to everything. We're able to travel to those places that I only think of maybe one day, you
Mhm.
know. Um, there was like a 1 year that we traveled six, right?
6 different
Like
countries. Yeah.
Six
multiple,
different countries in 1 year. Wow.
so
Yeah.
multiple countries in a year. And so it's really amazing, and I'm truly grateful
Mhm.
because of that we were able to build our dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
also helping others the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having goosebumps when I heard that 6 countries because of this digital business. And what are those countries?
We went to Spain, Italy. We went to
Japan,
Japan,
yeah,
Taiwan, Philippines,
yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
You know,
Philippines
yeah, Philippines
twice.
twice, and
Yeah.
this coming December, we are gonna be visiting another 5 to 6 countries. And yes,
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So this business, we have a very good automation system, training site, support from the global community. So, from your end as business owners, what strategies do you use to, scale your business up to that level?
Yeah, I think one strategy is like building up leaders,
Mhm.
because in this business it's so hard to succeed on your own. So if you're thinking of like scaling up your business, making it bigger, you need to develop leaders. So you need to impart and share whatever you've learned, and then duplicate that person to become like you, and the
Mhm.
same process. Yeah. And as far as like scaling up, like in this business, good thing about this that we could actually open like what we call like branches, like one account is a branch. So there's a lot of like good possibilities in the business. That 5,000 bonus that I mentioned earlier, that could just be one account or one branch. What about if you have multiple branches, multiple
Correct.
accounts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I think you're talking about this stacking. I think we can mention that. So the
Yeah.
stacking strategy, right? So you can have all those branches, like
Yeah.
your family members. And
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
about Coach Joam? Your family is also like from your side. Have they already like joined some of them?
My mom actually
Really?
was time who partnered with
Yeah.
Chris, because she is a businesswoman, because
Yeah.
she used to own a business. So she's been really looking for a business while here in the US. And so I actually discouraged my mom in the beginning, because my mom before, she would join different kinds of business, whatever
Mhm.
it is offered to her. She was just like, okay, let me just try this, that mentality. But I'm more on like conservative when it comes
Yeah.
to like, when it comes to anything that you want to invest, because for me, you have to like really study, you have to really know your stuff and all that, so that your investment will not be go into waste.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when my mom joined partner with Chris, I was like, oh my God.
And so
Really? Wow. Exciting.
um, when I started the business, she told me, do not mention this to my mom. Do not share the
Yeah.
Oh.
business with my mom. So I did not really share the business to her. But my mother-in-law was seeing my posts, right?
Yeah.
And she's been bugging me, hey Chris, what's your business? I told
Oh.
her, Joam told me not to share this business with you. She said, no, never mind her. Like I really want to learn my business. And
Oh.
surprisingly, she became my first business
Without,
partner.
Oh.
without,
Wow. Nice.
I didn't even like offer the business to her. She just approached me and said, "I want to do what you're doing." So that's why she became my first.
Yes. Yes. And if I may ask, how old is she?
she's
She's now
65.
Yeah.
65. Yeah,
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 65.
Because I wanted to mention that this business is for everybody above 18 years old, so anybody can join.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
As a matter of fact, we have some in the community over 80 years old. I think Betty is
yes.
88. I think. Oh, Deborah. I think Deborah's 88. Yeah,
Wow. I actually interviewed Deborah here before a few months
yeah,
ago. She's
yeah. She's
amazing. Yeah.
over
Yeah.
80.
Oh, but Deborah Grady. Ah, okay. Yeah.
Deborah McClanahan.
That's the one. The one in Mexico now.
Yeah,
She
yes,
she
yes.
revisited her dream, her childhood dream to stay or to live in Mexico. So
Um,
because of this business, she's now a
and she,
resident in Mexico. Yeah, amazing. So now you're a married couple. You have a lovely family. You're doing great business, digital business. So what have you learned about each other through the process of building and running family and business together? Like, oh, okay, Chris, I didn't know that you're able to do this and that. Yeah.
yeah,
It was hard in the beginning. A lot of adjustment,
yeah.
right?
Um, I think one of the things I can share is that we can never be ready to do anything, like including this business. And what matters is like you need to start. And I mentioned this before that yeah, it's you don't have to be great to start this business, but you just have to start to be great, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
I learned that lesson. And also,
Mhm.
it's not gonna be always like a walk in the park. There are some
Yes.
days that you are gonna be feeling down because you're not
Mhm.
getting the result that you have expected. But business is like that. There's ups and downs in the business. And as long as, and the same with success, right? It's not going to be like a straight path towards success. It's gonna be like a zigzag road, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever you do, as long as you didn't quit, they say winners never quit and quitters never win. So same like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
It's not an overnight success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need
So what?
to. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
You need to put some kind of effort because again, you may be interested in doing anything, like you want to become, have a master's degree or have a successful business or travel the world, but if you didn't take action, it's not gonna
Mhm.
happen.
And yes, and you have to be consistent.
Yes.
Yung being consistent talaga is in anything you do in life. That's the must. Yeah. So what do you offer to those who are still sitting on the fence, still thinking about it for like 3 years now, still thinking about it?
you
How
know
about
you
you,
may
Krista?
have, you may have been following us in this business
Mhm.
journey and you have not taken any action. I would really recommend you guys to just check this out, because again, when I started this, I was so afraid that I would lose my job. Think of that. What if just one day you would lose your job and you would lose your income as well? So
Mhm.
just be proactive. I need you guys to check this out. Message either one of us to start this business, and there's no risk because it's just a matter of like finding it out, and then if you find it's not a good fit for you, then you don't have to do this. But what if this could change your life forever? So just
Yes.
check this out, because you'll never know what's on the other side of the fence. Yes.
Yes, and we have the webinar every Tuesday and Thursday live. And
Yeah.
if they're not able to do it live, then they can always get the replay, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Coach Joam, what can you tell our business owners who are already in our community? And especially for those people who are kind of like a little impatient or losing hope. So, what can you advise them?
Okay. So um you gotta have to train out yourselves, because just like in any sports or in anything, if you don't train, like if you don't go through that process of training yourself, you will never find out you will never find out your strength, or you will never succeed in the business when you because the one thing that I learned, like which is I'm grateful for all the great minds, which that are part in our community, sharing their knowledge and experience. They're sharing their strategies. It's like there's one thing they never like they were they succeeded because they overcome all those obstacles, right?
Correct.
Also for the people who are fighting, like mentally, and their feelings of like
Mhm.
anything in anything, overwhelmed, you gotta succeed, you gotta like find a way to succeed on that, because otherwise you will lose it, you will lose
Yes.
it. So
And the
yeah.
good thing about our business, I'm really so amazed because we have a very supportive global community. We have a lot of tools to help our business partners. Our trainings, that every week, the weekly trainings that we have, the
Mastermind.
mindset, everything. Oh my gosh, you're not only earning financially, but also building your personal growth. Yeah.
True. Yeah. True.
Yes. Anyway, we're gonna greet or thank our some of our viewers here. Um, Mary Luz. I think Mary Luz is from New Jersey. Naomi is from Florida. Coach Chris and Coach Joam also are in Florida. And of
Oh,
course, Coach Jackie
she's
from New
watching.
Yeah, she is watching. Yep. I also told Coach Ket. I don't know if she's watching right now, but yeah,
Okay.
Rachel is from Texas. Amy is from Chicago. Jen is also from Chicago. Divina from Tennessee. And Kuya Kuch, I think, from Michigan.
Hmm.
Anyway, thank you so much. This is a lovely conversation, and I hope to see you in person. Uh,
Yes. See
Yay.
you in San Diego.
yeah, yes. I don't know. Because you are one team with Coach Jackie and Coach Ket. Because we're thinking about meeting each other for the group 24.
Mhm.
accountability group. I
Mhm.
don't know, sometime I think on the second night. So maybe we can all see each
Sure.
other there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So thank you so much for your time. I know that everybody's busy and you have your family or kids. So thank you so much and hope to see you again. And viewers, thank you all for the support.
Daghang salamat.
Thank you,
Daghang salamat.
Um,
Bye-bye. Thank
bye.
you.